we're going to take a look at that last worksheet that we just completed and analyze it a little bit and answer some questions about it. So here is the worksheet that we just completed. So let's refresh our memories about the context of it. It says the number of students currently enrolled at Discovery Place Preschool is 24. Enrollment is going up by 6 students each year. And we're considering the relationship between the number of years from now and the number of students enrolled. Okay, and this is the table, the graph, and the equation that we found for this context. So the first question that you'll be asked on your assignment about your worksheet is, what's the rate of change? So remember that the rate of change is the change in y divided by the change in x. So on our table, we're going to choose 2 lines, and I just like choosing the top 2 because they're the smallest numbers usually. And we're going to see how y changed and how x changed. So we're going to subtract here. 30 minus 24 is 6. So y changed by 6 from the first point to the second point. Now over the x's, 1 minus 0 is 1. So x changed by 1 unit from one point to the next. So if we simplify this fraction, 6 over 1 is just 6. So the rate of change for this situation is 6. And notice that corresponds nicely with the fact that enrollment is going up by 6 students each year. Okay, the second question is, what is the initial value? Initial value just means my beginning point. Now I've showed you how to find it from each of the representations, but my favorite way is by finding it on the graph. Because on my graph, I'm just going to go down and find out where the line starts on the y-axis. And it looks like it starts right here at 0, 24. So my y value there is 24. So my initial value is 24, and that matches up nicely with the fact that there are 24 students currently enrolled at Discovery Place Preschool. Okay, now we're going to change up some of the context and some of the equations. So question number 3 says, how would the context of the question change if the rate of change for the situation was 2? Okay, so instead of the rate of change being 6, we're saying how would the context change if the rate of change was 2? Now notice that the rate of change in the context is right here. The enrollment is going up by 6 students each year. So if the rate of change was 2, that means the context would say something like, enrollment is going up by 2 students each year. Because 6 represented the rate of change, and if we change the rate of change to 2, then that means enrollment's going up by 2 students each year. Okay, next question says, how would the context of the question change if the situation were modeled by the equation y equals 6x? So we want to know how the context changes if the equation changes. So if the equation changed to y equals 6x, what part is missing? The 24, right? The 24 got pulled out. So what does the 24 represent? 24 was the initial value, or how many students they started with. So if we got rid of the 24, that means the context would say something like, Discovery Place Preschool has no students currently enrolled. So instead of having 24 students enrolled, we have no students currently enrolled. Okay, and the last question says, how would the context of the question change if the situation were modeled by the equation y equals 24? So this time, we're saying the equation is y equals 24. So what part did we take out? We took out the 6x, right? And the 6x is modeling how many students are being added each year. So if we take out the fact that we're adding 6 students each year, that means we just have 24 students all the time. So the context would say something like this. Discovery Place Preschool has 24 students enrolled and no students are being enrolled each year. Okay, so we're taking out the fact that the 6 students are being enrolled each year and changing it to no students each year because we got rid of the 6x in our equation. Okay, so these questions are very, very similar to the ones that you'll see on your assignment. So hopefully that's a good example for you and a good starting point for you to get going on your assignment. Good luck.